Good morning. This is Dr. Mia Luth. It is August 7th, 2026, 8:30 a.m. New York time, USA. And I just mentioned I may have put the wrong video up last time. If I did, I did. If I didn't, I didn't. It's alright. I mean, I eventually get back to reviewing the videos for documentary purposes, so I'll find it if that is the case and make corrections. Yeah, I'm supposed to move today. It is a very moist 91 here, so I'm only going to be able to do so much. And one of my medications, which I took in place of a different medication because I was taking a medication that gives you like serious horrible dry mouth, and my dentist and my ENT otolaryngologist, ear, nose, throat, right, and my pulmonologist was like, right, I mean, I do the spray to help produce saliva and sugar-free candies, and there's like only so much liquid I can put in me, you know what I'm saying? So had to change that out, and the medication that was given to replace it is not so hard on your saliva production, but it can give you high blood pressure and most of the time muscle weakness. So well, that one's like oh my gosh, I'm like this little weakling, I can't even get this like small thing down the steps. Anyway, I'm hoping that my body gets used to it. So I mean, you wait a while, one, for things to take effect. You gotta give these things a chance, you understand? At least a month, if not more. Some people don't want to wait, and that's just too bad. You're only hurting yourself. Okay? So, yeah, my body might get used to it. But, yeah, hopefully today. But I can understand if anybody helping me wants to just go slow and steady and take a lot of breaks. So whatever. Even if I don't get my bed over there, right, there's a love seat over there that I'll just sleep on that. I don't care, I've moved so many times that I just automatically just know, like, here's what you need available the minute you walk through the door of your new home. And here's some stuff that can get packed that you're not going to need right away. Like, I just know this stuff. Plenty of moves. I will say, truly, that at a certain point, I tried to convey that, like, okay, I'm tired of moving. But anyway, this place has no stairs, and because of neurological disorder and some of the effects of some of my meds, stairs are hazardous for me in certain ways. I can be as careful can be, but sometimes neurologically my foot will like want to drag, or like my arm will drop off the safety rail. So it's a little better. I'm just on a single floor. And I am getting ready. I am preparing to get a new hip and get my legs evened out so that I have like same length legs. That's the cause of some sciatica and other kinds of things. So that's coming up here soon. I did find out, though, that I have stage 2 kidney disease. So there are some things, this gets difficult to manage. And these things can affect your mental health too, because when you, right, anyway, so that's the news for me, updates. But again, when I put them up like this, I don't have the description up. Okay, these are meant to be like little quick things that I think of to make sure that I've gotten it covered. But this one is all about ice hockey, the National Hockey League. And, for those who don't know, I'm a one franchise kind of gal. Okay? It's just the way I am. There are times sometimes, because I love ice hockey, and particularly the National Hockey League and affiliated teams, if for some reason my team's not going to the playoffs or is, outed and doesn't go all the way, I like ice hockey, so sometimes I'll just keep going. And sometimes I will root for another team, they've just, done well, and they're, really put 4 efforts in and everything. Or I just root for the goalies. Sorry, skaters. Well, somebody's going to score one eventually, Otherwise, like, aw, these skaters are getting frustrated, goalies. Yay, goalies. Yeah, I do. I turn immediately into a little kid. Yay, goalies. Yeah. Skaters. Okay, from the goalie table of life, goalie tendies. Every time I hear a commercial for tendies, the chicken, I don't like. Well, don't be eating the goalies, though. They're not food. Right? Okay, kids, don't eat the goalies. It's because sometimes they're called tendies or goalers or crease. Right? There's a lot of different little names for, but tendies is one. I'm like, well, from the goalie table, though. I mean, the skaters are weird. Like, those of us sitting at the goalie table are like, man, these guys are restless. They're just up, down, down. Oh, gotta take a break. Oh, yeah, like, those of us sitting at the goalie table are like, up, down, down. And a lot of times in the NHL, goalies will just try and skate away from, the skater brawls and what have you. So that's what I'm saying. Perspective, everyone. You can think the skaters, you can think the goalies are weird all you want, but from the goalie table, what are they doing? What? Yeah, what? Yeah, we think the skaters are a little weird. Or the way Henrik Lundqvist used to say it, veered. It's veered, Hank. Look at him. St. Panger. Come on, guys. All those of us sitting at the goalie table. Speaking of goalies, right, so I have been spending a lot of time understanding Canadian broadcasting and getting to know Canadians who, with Sportsnet and other, right, and maybe if there were a few more goalies in broadcasting in Canada, hey, it's a good way to give fans certain perspectives. It's a good way for like the goalie perspective to be represented, you know. So I mean, there's a lot more of that happening in the U.S. and U.S. broadcasting than there is in Canada. So, just a thought. Sportsnet or right. So you guys don't get ESPN, but you guys have, Sportsnet. There's right. So maybe there's a retired goalie or so that wants to get in, and it would be helpful. You understand? Sort of a more well-rounded view of all things ice hockey. Okay, so here's something about the Winnipeg Jets. Okay, look, they're positives, and I don't care. Y'all can give me a hard time, but you will eventually stop. Jets fans, Jets faithful. Okay? Think about this now. Kyle Connor is only 30 years old. KFC, Kyle, and the Colonel. We now can call him the Colonel. He's only 30, people. And Scheisse is only 33? Okay, and so we now have Perfetti on a contract, 5 years, I think. Perfetti is still developing. Okay? But think about this. And top line. Alright? 3 people. It's not just KFC and Scheisse. There's always a third. Kind of knows how to kind of work with those two. Our top line cannot be totally and completely shut down by every other team's best defense. See, you guys need to see some of this. You understand? Okay? Focusing on a bunch of stuff that in some cases doesn't even matter. So this is why I can stay positive, because I can see all these things. You understand? So, not delusional. And last season, like I said, if Anaheim had, lost one, if the Kings had lost one, and, right, the Jets would be in the playoffs. And I would have no issue with them playing Colorado, because they figured out how to beat Colorado in the regular season anyway. And, longevity speaking, and patience, I'm pretty sure the Jets could have beaten the Colorado Avalanche. Or at least gone 7. But, yeah, Texas is down there right, the Dallas Stars, maybe that would have been a little more difficult. This is last season, right? Okay, stop. Just stop. Take a deep breath. Okay, renew, refresh. Okay, everybody, think about this. Our top line really couldn't be shut down by every other team's best defenders. And Josh Morrissey is one of the best defensemen in the league. And if he gets the puck in the defensive zone, you understand, it's hard to get the puck away from him. And he's really good at getting that. He's really good clearing that puck, because he takes it himself right into the neutral zone, and he'll keep going sometimes and then score a goal. And his ice vision is ridiculous. Okay? You people need to hear me. You gotta listen. You're looking at stuff that in some cases doesn't even matter, and some of you, I listen to you, okay? This is not a judgy thing. This is not a I'm right, you're wrong. It's got nothing to do with that. This is what I'm saying to you. Our first line can hardly be shut down by every other team's best defense. And Josh Morrissey is one of the best defenders, because he will carry that. He will clear that puck out himself. He knows how to make sure that puck is not within scoring distance. And if he has the team has a hard time getting it away from him. Okay, we have others that have, right, I mean, everybody's got a strength, and I don't care what any of you say, just having a future Hall of Famer, Taser, in the locker room made a huge difference. And Perfetti got to learn, soak it up. The one thing about Perfetti, I mentioned this before, alright, like, I'm definitely gonna cheer on the skaters, because I'm like third goalie style, like there's seventh player, and then, right, so for me, I'm like, oh, I got your bad goalies, you know what I'm saying? But go, everybody, all the skaters, go, just take a shot, even if it's a crap shot, it might bounce. Like, there was a certain point in time where I think people were trying to find that good angle and to find that whatever, and earlier in that last season, maybe if they'd have taken a chance and started taking crap shots, it puts a little chaos, it puts a little movement, it puts pressure on the goalie and the defense, and so that might then, sometimes, doing that can get you to a point where you get a good shot. Well, regardless, anyway, it's in the past, but yeah, I was thinking that maybe Perfetti was playing it as offhand, but that wasn't it. Just, if Perfetti works on his backhand, it's going to speed up his game, because he gets time in front of the net. Perfetti gets time in front of the net. Okay? I mean, that was something that became more and more clear as the season went by. So, if his game can speed up a little bit, when he has that time, right, he'll be able to freeze more goalies. I mean, that is something that has the tendency to freeze goalies. So, still developing. I mean, I really wish that some of you, I mean, I know there's some who do, but I really wish that some, especially that I, communicated with on WST and, Kenny and Rennie and all that other, yes, right, which, helps keep my spirits up, you understand? Even with the, and everybody, listen carefully. All NHLers and AHLers will play injured. Okay? Some of these injuries might, for some people, lay up for weeks. Okay? But they're trained, their bodies, their mind, right? So, something that might keep regular people, down and laid up for weeks, for them, it's much less than that. They work on things, they get the PT, they, you know what I'm trying to say, they're built a little differently. And so they might be out for a week and then get back on ice, and then they feel comfortable in a no contact. I mean, they don't need the no contact yellow or red. I think it's yellow. Anyway, you see what I'm saying? I mean, they might get reduced minutes or something, but they want to get back out as soon as they can. Okay? And for the fellas, and it's all fellas who play, all males who play on NHL ice, I don't care who you are. Like, it matters not at all. The goal is to reduce head hits. Point blank. See, someone would be like, reduce fighting. No. Reduce head hits. And those of you who've been following this sport and paying attention, listen, there are, some retirees who are still around. And there's a reason why they, went the legal way to try and, sue the NHL. Because some of these guys got messed up in ways that some newer or younger fans don't really get or understand. More instances of likely dementia, could even induce Parkinson's. I'm not too sure about that, but cognitive brain disorders, right? Okay, like, there are just some things that shouldn't continue. So I don't care who you are or what you come at me with. You understand? Okay? Like, that's just better for the whole everybody. You see what I'm saying? So, elbows can be controlled. Alright, that is something that the fellows can control. You might have to drill some things in, but... And sometimes fighting isn't always necessary. Sometimes there is another way to handle it. And like I said, with the... if a new kind of a penalty gets put in called player safety infraction, okay, and we'll just say that's 2 minutes. So in and of itself, right? But if you're adding like unsportsmanlike, you had whatever, and that can put you over 5 minutes, and that means you need to leave the ice, and that is something the players don't want. They want to play. So getting ejected is no fun. You understand? And everybody's elbows will start being controlled way better. And there's some stuff that can be drilled in for sure. Like, if a player knows they're going to run into somebody, you understand? Like, it can be drilled in just automatically, right? Just get that to be muscle memory. Drop your arms. Like, right, players can have that drilled in. Like, like, they know they're gonna make contact with someone. Okay? So, it can be drilled in, just drop your arms. Okay? It's a natural human reflex to try and put an arm up, protect yourself, right? Just these things, right? But it can be drilled in. They know they're gonna come in contact with somebody. Drop your arms. Okay? And then, some other injuries. It had to be kind of trained in for their feet not to leave the ice, you understand? So, sneaky elbows, well, I don't even care. They can come at me with every which way, kind of anything, and I'd still be like, no, fellas, no. Yeah, you can control your elbows. That is something you can control. And goalies too. Goalies. Okay, I know. I'm a friend to all goalies. I don't always agree with certain things, but the one thing for sure that goalies should not do, and they should get ejected for this, to be honest with you, is when an opposing player, okay, is just coming back around to skate around your net to head back, and they don't have the puck, okay, sticking your stick out to trip them is a player safety infraction. You're not funny. You're not cute. That's not smart hockey. That's just you being a straight out dickhead. And goalies, right, should be ejected from the ice. All of them. Any one of them. I don't care. You hearing me? Okay? If there is a skater who's just doing, the pass to, go back up to play, doesn't have the puck, and you stick your freaking stick out to try and trip them, that is a dangerous situation. And I don't give a shit who you are. And there's examples of that. Mr. Carey Price. Yeah, I remember. I didn't forget. Alright, there was, Montreal, Bolts game, series, playoffs. Like, he should have been ejected. That's not smart hockey. That's just being a crappy, shitty individual. Not having respect for the other people on ice, right? And it wasn't getting called. I don't care who you are, goalies. Don't do that. Okay? No. And that should qualify to get a goalie ejected from the ice. You understand? Alright. When the player is just coming around to go back up, opposing player, and they don't have the puck, okay, don't stick your stick out to try and trip them that close to the boards and the ledge. That is a player safety infraction. It's unsportsmanlike, and it makes you a shitty person. I'm not trying to say everybody needs to go for a lady bang. I'll repeat that many times. It's not what I'm saying. It's just point blank unacceptable. So as much as I love goalies, it's just like, well, that one, I guarantee you, I would never do myself. And I know that there are some goalies who've been in the NHL and the AHL and who are still in, who would never do that. Okay? So, the Jets aren't stuck. Okay? There's all sorts of positives. Tons and tons of them. But some of you should consider that. Our first line. Every single team in the NHL had difficulty constantly shutting down. Their best defense had difficulty. Every single team in the NHL had trouble shutting down our first line. Okay, but that's good news. Okay? And Kyle's only 30. So knock it up with the ageism crap. It will, flip the other way. It'll flip again. Because those of us who've been at this for 40-some years, 45, we know. The age thing is going to flip again. I mean, some of your unhappiness and frustration is on you, not the Winnipeg Jets. Alright? And there's just it's never going to be the proper thing to do to maneuver things so that your team comes in last place on purpose. And if that's what Canadian teams have been doing, well, maybe there's a reason you guys haven't won a Stanley Cup for a long time. Okay? Like, you gotta let go of some of this crap. I don't know what to tell you, but Sife's only 33. Okay, Kyle Connor. Kyle Connor is only 30. Okay, experience, time on ice counts for something. Alright, so go Jets. And I just want next season to be started. I'm ready for next season already. Alright, well, they get a longer summer, which means they get a little more rest and break, and they can work on some things, and anybody who had injuries could work on getting that, so that everybody is as healthy as they can be. There are some benefits to not having, right, because Stanley Cup winners, they're the Canes. Like, no sooner do they win that, right, then they get like a teeny tiny little vacation. You understand? And then they're back at it again. Okay, so you understand? There's positives sometimes. All right. So try to develop longer patience. Okay, guys? That's like I said, the Oilers, they got 2 first overall picks a while back, and McPain in the ass. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, to you guys, he's McJesus. To goalies, he's McPain in the ass. You see what I'm saying? Right, and Trevor Zegras, Trevor Z Pain in the ass. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's got to understand goalies a little better. But I do suggest Canadians, like maybe some goalies, jump in to the Canadian broadcasting system. Okay? Yeah, go Jets. Come on, October. Come on, October. Alright, everybody. Try to be just this much more patient every day, you understand? Like, it'll help you physiologically too. I'll get into that later. Okay? But it is helpful. You understand? Alright. See ya.